Like this. I should just. No, it's 9 times. No, no. East, no, no. India. Which part of India? I don't want to tell you, please.
India.
Yes. Alright, let's see. Birds of feather flock together. Thus is encounter between the snake and the doctor in the story. The snake and the mirror support the snake. That means similarities and differences. Okay, birds of a feather when we talk about, that means they have the same kind of qualities. Okay, that proverb means that it has the same kind of qualities. Now, if you look at that, what are the similarities between the doctor? This one, look at that E1. Sorry, C1. Long answers.
Definitely in the hands of God.
No. Look at the C1
He is fire to move power.
124.
In control of our lives.
Now read their striking similarities. Read.
Striking similarities in the doctor and the snake. Both are victims of self-adoration. The doctor takes 2 or sitting reasons or seeing his in the mirror. He save daily and grow a dream style. He is wearing an attractive smile on his face to look handsome. On the other hand, the snake was enjoying its reflection in the mirror. It closed corners by uncoiling itself from the doctor's arm and moving closer to the mirror. Both the doctor and the snake reveal the character's life, vanity, self-evaluation, and taking necessary.
Understood. That is the answer for this. Birds of the feather flock together. Do you agree with it? Yes. Yes, I agree with the statement, and this is the answer what you have to give. Clear? So when I'm studying for the exam also, I'm studying from here. Clear? You should learn
Textbook.
Textbook and this book. Answers are given.
What should I do?
What should you do is at least read the lesson at least 4 times, 5 times.
This lesson.
Yeah, any lesson, whatever you do from here, read the lesson first, understand what it is saying, and then read the question and the answers given here. The questions change one time. Like remember, this question is written like this. Then look at the C question, it's written like this. The answers is the same. Understood? The question will change, answers will remain the same. So you will read the question and the answers given in the YouTube book also. Okay?
Ma'am, for other subjects.
Other subjects also, first thing, read the text. Always read the text.
NCERT.
Yes, read the text. First read the text, understand whether you have understood the lesson or not. Then only you go to the question answers. Understood? First, I have to know my text. Then I can answer the question. Yeah? First, read. What kind of room was the doctor living in and why did he decide to leave the room? What kind of room the doctor was living in?
It was a rented house. In which.
Look at that. Page number 123. Describe the house where the doctor lived.
The doctor lived in a small house. It was not electrified. It had only few things. The roof was still
Tiles.
Tiles were rested on the beam over the wall. The room had 2 windows with one wall facing the open.
Got it? And now the second question is, why did you decide to leave the room? Look at the G question.
First is C.
First is C. Okay? And look at that, this one, why did you decide to leave the room? Look at the G question. G, page number. Look at G, the second part of the question.
G, second part.
And if it is G, the second question is why did you decide to leave the room? That is the second part of the question, na? B1. The first part you describe the house, you got it?
Yes.
Second part is this. Look at this. The narrator wanted to remove his things from his room and run away to his friend's house because he was afraid
of snake coming there again and again.
That's the answer. The G part. Okay?
What was the doctor's opinion about himself? How did his opinion change after the encounter with the snake? Opinion, huh? Every story has a protagonist which leads the story. And keep in mind.
This is the answer. The F one.
F. The doctor later looks quite high and smiled at this image whenever he looked into a large mirror on his table. He tells the listeners that the first time he looked in the mirror and smiled, his opinion about himself was marked by self-adulation. He thought that he was very handsome and deserved to stay well groomed. However, these thoughts changed by the time he tells the listeners that he forgot his danger and smiled freely at himself. On the second occasion, his opinion about himself was marked by humility. By then he had realized that he had been veiled previous to it. His encounter with the deadly snake had exposed the shortcomings to him. Proud of being a doctor, did not have any medicine in his room, even for an emergency like a snake bite. His good looks became immaterial when he came face to face with death. The only thoughts that came to his mind were about God. The people's smile indicated his acceptance of the falling humanity that set all over his life. Yes. How did this opinion change our agreement with the snake? Oh yeah. Well, you.
What kind of woman did Doctor want to marry? What does it show about his character? What kind of wife did he eventually get? The doctor wanted to a fat wife because if she wants to run away, she can't. Right, ma'am? What does it show about his character?
That is very vain,
It is
stupid,
very stupid
and foolish.
Because
That's it. You don't require.
what kind of wife did he eventually get? He eventually get a small
Say no exact words from the text.
Fat.
No
got a thin wife.
thin, greedy person with the gift of a sprinter. Page 59.
Sprinter, yes.
Exact
person
words.
with the gift of a
So you should know exact words from the text. Understood? That. We shall now do the next one. Moments.
silent thoughts.
Moments you didn't bring? Come and share it.
This. This one.
Ishwaran the storyteller.
Swaran the storyteller.
So this is basically about this person who was a very good storyteller. You know the storyteller?
Ishwaran.
Mother.
Who's a storyteller?
So who tells story or
Correct. Who is basically
The story.
so in this chapter, this was this chapter, this one, Ishwaran, and we used to work for Mahendra. Okay, so here we are talking about he tells a lot of story, and he was very talented in the way of telling stories. But he told a ghostly story, and then this person saw the ghost, and after that he wanted to run away from that particular house. Okay, the story was
house story.
yeah. The story was narrated to Ganesh by a young man.
Mahendra by name. He was a junior supervisor in a firm which offered on higher supervisions at various types of
Supervisors.
Supervisors are also there in construction.
Correct. So that's what.
Factories, bridges, dams, and so on. Mahendra's job was to keep an eye on the activities at the work site. He had to keep moving from place to place every now and then, as ordered by his head office, for a coal mining area to a railway bridge construction site. there after a few months to a chemical plant which was coming up somewhere.
Okay, the story was narrated to Ganesh by a young man. Okay, somebody is narrating the story. Mahendra by the name. So Mahendra was the one actually who told Ganesh this story. And that's what this we are learning. He was told as Garuda. He was a junior supervisor in a firm which offered to hire supervisors at various types of construction site. You know, there are a lot of construction site and next supervising is the job. Correct. So this he was working in a firm which gave jobs of being supervisors in various places, side places like factories or bridges or dams. You know, when dams are being constructed there also, and so many places. Mahendra's job, now this story is about Mahendra. Mahendra told the story to Ganesh. Remember that, okay? Mahendra's job was to keep an eye on the activities on the work site. Work site, site SIT site is place where the work is going on. No, SIGHT site is look. Okay, so don't get confused. So he was given this. Mahendra was given a job to keep an eye on how they are working. You know, that's what the supervisor's job is, right?
He was a bachelor.
And in his ways, he had been moving from place to place. So every time he would get different jobs, different supervision jobs. Understood? So, yeah. So as his head office would say, okay, today you have to go near the bridge. Tomorrow you have to go near the dam. Third thing you have to go in the where the mining is taking place. So like in different places he was sent. So from the coal mining area where the coal is being mined, you know what is mining, right? We go into geography. Like remember when the coal is removed from the earth. So that is coal mining. Till the railway bridge. So when they are constructing the railway bridge, that. And there were a few months in a chemical plant. When a chemical plant is there, they have to supervise there also if the workers are working properly or not.
He was a bachelor. His needs were simple and he was able to adjust himself to all kinds of hot conditions. Whether it was an ill-equipped circuit house or a makeshift canvas tent in the middle of a stone quarry. On one asset he had was his cook, Iswaran. The cook was quite attached to Mahendra and followed him uncomplainingly wherever he was posted. He cooked for Mahendra, washed his clothes, and chatted away with his master at night. He could weave out endless stories and anecdotes on various very subjects.
So yes, so this person, Mahendra, was not married. Again, we are coming to bachelor. His needs were very simple. So when you're not married, you don't require a lot of things. So needs are very simple, means that you don't require a lot of things. And whatever odd jobs he was given, he was able to adjust himself there, okay, in different conditions. Whether it was an ill-equipped, means it didn't have a lot of facilities. Okay, ill-equipped means that circuit house. Circuit house, you know what is a circuit house, right? Yeah, where all the wires are. Or a makeshift canvas tent in the middle of a stone quarry. Stone quarry. Remember, there is a machine which breaks stones.
Yes.
Right? And in that,
in China.
yeah, no, in India also we bring stones, no, for our bridges and dams and all that. We have stone quarries, but when you have the stone quarry, from very far away you will not find village. So you have to live in a canvas tent. Canvas tent, you know, when you go for trekking, you have to have this canvas tent. Thick cloth tent, what you have. So he had to live in that also because there's no civilization around him because the stone quarry you will not find because they use huge machines to build the stones. If you know, touch the stones and all that is the stone quarry. But one asset what he had, one plus point, one positive thing what he had was his cook. Okay, Ishwaran. The cook was quite attached. The cook was quite attached to Mahendra. We like Mahendra a lot and followed him uncomplainingly wherever he was. So he never complained. Uncomplainingly, he never complained. So wherever he was transferred, the cook would follow him. Okay. He cooked for Mahendra.
He was staying in.
Not she.
He was staying in.
With Mahendra only. Yeah, basically in the staff room, like, but basically, yeah. So he like, what he used to do for him, Mahendra, he used to wash his clothes, he used to cook for him, okay, and he used to, like, when Mahendra came back in the evening, he used to sit and talk with him. Chatted is basically chatted away with his master at night. That means he would talk a lot with his master at night. Okay, he would weave an endless story. Weave means he would narrate. Weave is basically he can get any subject and he would make a story out of it. Okay, so that's why we use the word weave. Because he take any subject and make a story out of it. You know how you make stories to your teachers?
Yes.
Anything. Ma'am, I got chocolate. Oh, ma'am, I forgot this. My brother told my book or something like that. Like that is weaving, called weaving stories. Endless stories and anecdotes. Anecdotes are humorous stories. Anecdotes are humorous stories. Okay. On varied subject means various subject. On any subject, you would make like funny stories.
Iswaran also had an amazing capacity with his vegetables and cooking ingredients. Seemingly out of nowhere, the middle of a desolate landscape with no shops visible for miles around. He would miraculously
Conjure up.
conjure up the most delicious dishes made with fresh vegetables in an hour of arriving at the zinc seat shelter at the new workplace.
Yeah. So he has this amazing capacity to produce vegetables and cooking ingredients seemingly out of nowhere in the middle of a desolate landscape with no shop visible. So like magic, he would produce, he would bring vegetables and cooking ingredients are the spices and all that what you require out of nowhere because it would be desolate. Remember a stone quarry that I talk about, if you are posted on a stone quarry, there will not be civilization around, there will not be houses and market around. But Ishwaran would find something or the other, he would always find delicious food made by him. He would get those vegetables, remember what he could do. Okay? And he would get the spices what he required to cook the vegetables. Desolate, when I said lonely, as if there's no civilization around. That is desolate. Okay? And he would miraculously, it was as if a miracle, because when you don't have any shops around, you know how difficult it is. When mama tells you to bring, maybe even chili powder, if mama tells you, and there's no shop around, so you have to travel for very far to get that. Right? So it's all he had this talent, Ishwara had this talent that he would, like, some way or the other, will get this ingredient. Okay, so it looked as if magic. Like how the magician takes a rabbit out of the hat. He will show you the hat inside out, but there will not be any rabbit. But suddenly he will take out this rabbit out of the hat. So that is called conjuring.
But how it is?
That's magic. Okay, that is called conjuring. Understood? So like that, he would bring vegetables and spices out of nowhere. Okay, that's why he says miraculous. Miracle, you know what is a miracle, right? Magic. Like a magic.
What happened? I was in Mahabaleshwar. There is a this macro garden.
Right.
I was somewhere around there, and one magician was there inside the macro garden. What he did that he was having two magnetic balls this much. Just he threw up, and then the ball in the moose. How can it be?
That is magic. There's a distraction anyway. You learn it when you work.
Yeah.
Okay, so he miraculously conjured up the most delicious dishes made of fresh vegetables within an hour of arriving at the zinc sheet shelter at a new workplace. Zinc sheet shelter is that for the rains we put these sheets, corrugated sheets, which is made of metal, and like garage में होता है ना, like out of the building when we don't have that covered sheet, so we put that sheets. You see in the garages. I'm not talking building parking. I'm talking about when you don't have, they put that like sheets to protect you from rain and sunshine. That sheets. So that kind of sheets we are talking about, and within an hour, like when they arrive in a new place, you take some time to settle, right? You take a lot of time to settle, but within an hour, he would bring vegetables and he would put the most delicious food on the table. So that's why he called it Ishvara. Okay, so he would put food on the table. The cook. The cook. Yes, Mahendra is the master's name. Okay, and he would within an hour. Now you know even when you shift to a new house, how long it takes for Mama to start cooking. But he wouldn't. He within an hour he'd find hot food with fresh vegetables on the table. Okay, that was his talent.
Mahendra would be up early in the morning, wake up early in the morning and leave for work after breakfast, carrying some prepared food with him. Meanwhile, Ishwaran would tidy up the shed, wash the clothes, and have a leisurely bath, pouring several buckets of water over his head, muttering a prayer all the while. It would be lunchtime. By then, after eating, he would read for a while before dozing off. The book was usually some popular Tamil thriller running of 100 pages. Its imaginative description and narrative flourishes would hold Ishwaran in thrall.
So Mahendra would get up early. Now this is what the master issues. He would get up early, okay, and he'll leave after eating his breakfast. He will leave for work, and then he will take his tiffin. He'll carry some prepared food with. That means he will take a tiffin with him. Okay. So when he leaves for the other side, then Ishwaran would tidy up the shed. You know where they were living, the place where they were living. He would tidy up the shed, wash the clothes, and then he will have a bath. He will take his time while having a bath. Okay, leisurely bath means he will take time and have a bath. And he will wash his hair and like, scrub his body. He will take a lot of time. That is called leisurely bath. Pouring several buckets of water over his head and keeps on like having a bath like that. Muttering a prayer all the while. So he would say his prayers when he's having his bath. Okay. It would be lunchtime by then. So from morning to afternoon time, he's just having a bath. It takes him so long to have a bath. Alright. Morning after Mahendra does, he cleans up the room and then he goes for his bath. So by the time he comes out of his bath, it is lunchtime. Understood. So by the time he comes back, it is lunchtime, and after eating, he would read a while before dozing off. That means he will read books for some time, and then he dozing off is basically goes to sleep. Dozing off means going to sleep. The book was usually some popular Tamil thriller running to hundreds of pages. So means if he normally would like to read, what was he like to read? Tamil thriller stories, suspense stories. Okay, so that book he liked to read. And it was a very thick book because it would have hundreds of pages. Alright. And its imaginative description and narrative flourishes Ishvara. Imaginative description and narrative flourishes with whole Ishwaran in thought. That means it was very imaginative, very creative books. It was full of description and it was a narrative story, right? This would, when Ishwaran read it, he was fully his concentration would fully be in that book. And it was very exciting. Enthralled is when he is enchanted with the book, or when he looks at the book and his full concentration is in the book. Like how video games are. When a video game, even mama calling you will never be like you can't hear mama's sound also. Right? So because your so concentration is fully in that video game. So like that, his book, when he read the book, it was as if nobody can move him from there. Like that is enthralled. Okay.
His own descriptions were greatly influenced by the whole authors that he read. When he was narrating even the smallest of incidents, or tried to work in suspense and a surprise ending into the account. For example, instead of saying that he had come across an uprooted tree on the highway, he would say, with eyebrows suitably arched and hands held out in a dramatic gesture, the road was deserted and I was all alone. Suddenly, I spotted something that looked like an enormous ghostly beast lying all across the road. I was half inclined to turn and move back, but as came closer, I saw it that it was a fallen tree with its dry branches spread out. And the wood stretched himself back in his canvas chair and listened to his friend's tales uncritically.
Okay. So his old description was generally influenced by the Tamil authors. That like remember, he used to tell him stories. He used to tell Mahendra stories. So whenever he used to tell a story, it would always be like this. The story is what he reads. He will never tell it simply. He will add spice to it and tell the story. So, like when he was narrating even the smallest of incident, anything which has happened, any incident which has happened, he would try to make it full of suspense and surprise. Okay. For example, instead of saying that he had come across an uprooted tree on the highway, uprooted tree is what during the storm the tree falls down and all the roots are up, right? On the roads you see, so many, when the storm is there, like so many trees fall down on the road, right? So those are uprooted trees. So instead of saying that I came across an uprooted tree, what he will say is, like, the road was deserted. That means nobody was there on the road and I was all alone. And then I saw, like, I spotted me, when I looked there, I saw like this, which looked like an enormous beast. Okay, it looked as if it was an animal there, big, huge beasts were there, lying sprawled on the road, that means fallen on the road. And I was half inclined to turn back and go. I was half inclined, that means I wanted to turn back and go from there. But as I came closer, I saw that it was a fallen tree with its dry branches spread out. So he would add, as I said, he would spice it up, make it very descriptive and tell. And Mahendra would listen to Ishwaran's story uncritically, means tales are stories, right? Uncritically means he will not judge. He would just listen and he would enjoy listening to Ishwaran's story. He never criticized. Uncritically is never criticized him. Okay.
The place I come from is famous for timber. Swanwood. There is a richly wooded forest all around. The logs are hauled onto the lorries by elephants. They are used well fed beasts. When they turn wild, even the most experienced hawk is not able to control them. After this prologue, Iswaran would launch into an elaborate anecdote involving an elephant.
Okay, place I come from is where it's famous for timber. Timber is wood. Okay, timber is wood. And Ishwaran would begin. So this is how you will begin a story. That I come from this village and which is like very famous for timber, like sandalwood and all that. That is timber, right? So and he says the logs are hauled. Hauled means they have put into the hauled means you have to lift. Remember the tree, the trunk of a tree is very heavy, right? So they would lift and put it on the lorries. Lorries are your trucks.
Yes.
Right? You've seen how they put it. Pushpa you've seen, remember? Pushpa movie you've seen,
No.
but you have seen the trailer, must have seen something. Okay, anyways, you saw that how the timber is taken and put into the trucks. So like that, they were hauled into the lorries by elephants. The elephants would lift up that and they would put it in the tree trunk. The elephant will lift with their trunk and they would put it into the truck. Okay. So it requires a lot of strength. If you remember, that's why the word hauled is used. That's why the word hauled, because it will require a lot of strength to lift up the tree. Yes or no, the timber. And there were huge, well-fed beasts. So because they required a lot of strength, these elephants were well-fed. Well-fed means they were given lots to eat. Okay. When they turn white, even the most experienced Mahur is is not able to control them. So you see, when they turn white, sometimes they don't want to do certain work and they are very wild. So even the Mahur is the one who is always sitting on the elephant and telling the elephant what to do. Remember, even when you go for a safari, this elephant, the Mahut will tell him to bend down, and he will always be the elephant who controls. Mahut is the person who controls the elephant. Right? So even when they are very, very wild, even that person cannot control the elephant. Got it? After this prologue is the beginning. After this beginning, Ishwaran would launch to an elaborate anecdote. Anecdote, I told you, what is an anecdote? A humorous, a funny story.
Funny story. Suspense.
No, anecdote is normally a funny story. Okay. An elaborate.
Is a suspense.
No, elaborate is long, full of details. Elaborate anecdote involving an elephant. And he will start the story with an elephant. Read.
One day, a tusker escaped from the timber yard and began to roam about, stamping on bushes, tearing up wild creepers, and breaking branches at will. You know, sir, how an elephant behaves when it goes mad. Ishwaran would get so caught up in the excitement of his own story that he would get up from the floor and jump about, stamping his feet in an emulation
Yes.
of, of the mad elephant.
Okay. So one day a tusker. Tusker is referring to the elephant. Okay. It escaped from the timber yard and began to roam about. It was very wild. Okay. And what it did, it was so wild and this one that it was stamping on the bushes. It was crushing all the bushes. You know how elephant's foot is, it's very heavy. So it was crushing the bushes and tearing up wild creepers with the trunk. It was pulling. That's what it was a spread. With its trunk. It would wrap around it and pull, no? Wild creepers, creeper plants, huh?
Yes, but elephant doesn't get
Hurt.
hurt.
Maybe. But at that time it is very, very upset, right? So it would try to destroy everything in its way. Right? So wild creepers will start breaking the branches at will. So it would break all the branches, pull down all the branches because it's very angry. Okay. You know so how elephants behave when it goes mad. Mad is basically angry. When an elephant is angry, you can't control it. And it will try to destroy everything in its way. If you see movies, you know that elephants can be destructive.
The elephant
Wait, my dear. Ishwaran would get so caught up in the excitement of a story. So he's telling the story, he would get up from the floor and jump around, stamping his feet in emulation. Emulation is basically in an effort to match the elephant. He's dramatizing how a mad elephant behaves. So emulation means he's making an effort to match the elephant, to show how the elephant is behaving. You can write emulation there, an effort to match.
The elephant reached
Right there, emulation is an effort to match. Effort to match. To match. Okay.
The elephant reached the outskirts of a town, taking the fences down like matchsticks. He would continue. It came into the main road and smashed all the stalls selling fruits, mud pots, and clothes. People ran helter-skelter in panic. Elephant now at the school ground where children were playing, breaking through the brick wall. All the boys ran into the classrooms and shut the doors tight. The beast grunted and wandered about, pulling out the goalpost, laying down the volleyball net, keeping and flattening, drum cave for water, and uprooting the shrubs. Meanwhile, all the teachers had climbed up the terrace of the school building. From there, they helplessly passed the presence of the elephant. There was not a soul below on the ground. The streets were empty as if the inhabitants the entire town had suddenly disappeared.
Okay. The elephant reached the outskirts of town and boundary. Outskirts is the boundary of the town. Okay. And breaking into the fences down like matchsticks. So the way he was destroying it was as if we are breaking matchsticks. You know how matchsticks are, right? Matches जो होती है, it's very weak. So it's like the elephant was destroying it like that. The fences, thick fences which are made of wood and all that, it is breaking through that. Okay. And he would continue. It was a main road and smashed all the stalls selling food. So it came into the marketplace and all the stalls which were there they were selling fruits, he destroyed that. Mud pots and clothes. So you get this typical village scene. So all the pots which were there, he destroyed it, and the clothes which were hung, people hang, marketplace, how marketplace is. Vashi sector I have seen, right? All the marketplace you seen that like there are tiny stalls inside and so he's basically destroyed everything. And people ran helter-skelter in panic. Helter-skelter means here and there. So they were in panic. Remember, they were scared that this elephant is going to attack me. So they were all panic. Panic is terrifying. Okay. The elephant now entered a school ground where the children were playing. So then after the marketplace, it went into the school. Okay. And the children were playing there. And then it school walls have school walls. So the boundaries are made of wall, right? If you have, your school also, there's always a boundary which is made of wall, right? And it broke through that wall and entered the ground where the children were playing.
But suppose this much wall is there.
It can break through.
How can it be? Because
that elephant is very powerful.
This is there, na? Sand, steel.
Agreed, but we are talking about a cement wall. It can break through the cement wall. When an elephant is mad, it can do that. Okay, so it broke through the cement wall we are talking about. And then all the boys ran into the classroom and shut the door side. So seeing this elephant, the boys ran into and they closed the door. Okay, shut the door tight. And the beast grunted. It made a sound. The elephant trumpet. And wandered around about pulling out football goal post. The football is there and the net is there that to score the goal. That is the football goal post. Okay, and it pulled it out. It pulled out this and it kept tearing the volleyball net. Volleyball net also he tore up. And he's kicking and flattening the drum kept for water. So there was a big drum kept for water, and it was kicking it and it was smashing it. Understood? It was making it flat and uprooting the shrubs. So whatever the shrubs were there, you have a garden. You always have in your school. You have. So it was pulling out whatever shrubs were there. And shrubs are small plants. You know that, no? You learn it in science. Meanwhile, all the teachers climbed up. So, the children locked themselves and the teachers climbed up onto the terrace and they were just watching the destruction what the elephant was doing. Depredation is basically the destruction or the attacking. When it was attacking, depredation means that. It means attacking and plundering. Plundering is basically being destructive. Okay. There was not a soul on the ground. Not a soul on the ground means not a single person was there on the ground. And the streets was empty as if the inhabitants of the entire town had suddenly disappeared. And the street was also empty because all the inhabitants are people. Right? They all ran away somewhere because they were scared of this elephant. What this elephant can do. Remember, it destroyed the marketplace. Now it entered the school and it is destroying the school. So they didn't know what to do. Okay.
I was studying in the junior class at the time, was watching the whole drama from the rooftop. I don't know what came over me suddenly. I grabbed a cane from the hands of one of the teachers and ran down the stairs and into the open. The elephant grunted and menacingly. swung a branch of a tree which it held in its tongue. It stamped its beak, kicking up a lot of mud and dust. It looked frightening, but I moved slowly towards it, stick in hand. People were watching the scene, hypnotized from nearby housetops. Elephant looked at me red-eyed, ready to rush towards me. It lifted its trunk and drummed loudly. At that moment, I moved forward and swung all the force back, spur to a nail on the quick. The beast looked stunned for a moment, and it shivered from head to foot and collapsed.
Okay. So he was this Ishwaran was in the junior class, okay, and was watching the whole drama from the rooftop. So he was also standing with the teachers, and he didn't know what came over him suddenly. And he took the cane. In olden days, remember there was a cane. The teacher always had a cane to manage the children, and he would have got a beating solidly. So
Small thing.
yeah, small thing. And he took the cane from the teacher, ran down, and came where the elephant was. Now the elephant grunted and menacingly swung a branch, menacingly threatening. You know when you threaten somebody. So the elephant swung a branch like this, which was held in its trunk. It stamped its feet. Like you know, elephant how heavy the feet is, how it goes. It stamped its feet, kicking up a lot of mud. So when it stamped its feet, you know the mud and all that which is there, it flew up, right, and dust. It looked frightening. So he said it was very frightening. But I moved slowly towards it. Ishwaran was not scared. He moved slowly towards it, and with stick in hand. People were watching the scene hypnotized from nearby house top because they didn't know what is like going to happen, right? So like it's as if they're hypnotized. Like as I said, now like the magician, he hypnotizes you and you will do whatever he wishes, right? The elephant looked at me red-eyed. Red-eyes is basically talking about like how wild and angry it is. So that, and ready to rush towards me. He's not ready to crush this Ishwaran also. It lifted its trunk and trumpeted loudly. Trumpet is the sound of the elephant, you know. So it very loudly trumpeted, and at that moment he moved forward. Ishwaran moved forward and mustering all my force, mustering all means gathering all his force. He whacked basically is hit. He whacked the third toenail on the quick. That means he quickly whacked the third toenail of the elephant. You know, elephant has three kind of big nails, right, at the bottom. So the third one, he hit the third nail. Okay, and the beast
Legs, no, in legs.
on the legs, in the legs,
How he get?
with that stick, with that stick what he has in his hand. He gave it one whack, understood, one hit, and the elephant was stunned for a moment. Then it shivered from head and foot. Shivered is basically trembled from head and foot and collapsed. And collapsed. Yes. No, it fell down. Okay. At this point, your turn.
At this point, Ishwaran would leave the story unfinished and get up mumbling, I will be back after lighting the gas and warming up the dinner. Mahendra, who had been listening rapt, with rapt attention, would be left hanging. When he turned, Ishwaran would not pick up the thread of the story right away. Mahendra would have to remind him that the conclusion was pending when a veterinary doctor was summoned to revive the animal. Ishwaran would shrunk casually. 2 days later, it was led away by the Ma out to the jungle. Well, how did you manage to do it, Ishwaran? How did you bring down the beast? It had something to do with a Japanese art, I think karate or jujitsu. It is called. I had read about it somewhere. It temporarily
Paralyzes.
paralyzes the nervous system. You see.
Stop. Okay, so at that point, suddenly the elephant rumbled and he fell down and collapsed, and he would stop there. Okay, and Mahesh would be listening so attentively. Rapt is basically his full attention is concentrated on Ishwaran only. And suddenly Ishwaran would stop and said, I have to go and light the gas and I have to warm up the food. And when he comes back also, when he came back also after from there after warming the food and all that, he would not start the story. This is that. He would not pick up the thread of the story. Means he would not start the story from right away. And Ishwaran, like Mahesh is waiting for him to start the story, what happened after that, this one collapsed and all that. So Mahendra would remind him, he would tell him, you still have to tell me what is the end of the story, the conclusion of the story. And then he very casually says, we call a veterinary doctor. Veterinary doctor is a doctor who treats animals. Okay, that's a veterinary doctor. Ours is pediatric doctors. Pediatric normally she treats children or the other doctor. Okay, so veterinary, remember, a veterinary is a doctor who treats animals and was summoned. Summoned is called. Okay, summoned to revive the animal. That means to bring it to consciousness. Remember, the elephant fainted and it fell down. Right? So he to revive means to get it back, to get it more conscious. Ishwaran would shrug casually and he would shrug like this casually. Hi, like this one was cold and he just tried to revive it. 2 days later, it would led away by the Mahmud to the jungle and then Mahmud would come and take that animal back to the jungle. So he said, how did you manage to do that? The elephant, yeah. Elephant was calmer that time, no? See, after the fainting, elephant got his senses back. So the doctor treated him, right? And then Mahmud took the elephant back to the forest. Okay, and then Mahesh was very curious. How did you manage to do that? Sorry, Mahendra. Mahendra was very curious to know how did Ishwaran do it. So what he did, it is like something to do with Japanese art. It's called karate or jujutsu. And he says, he hit him exactly where the nervous system is. Like, all our body, what we call acupuncture. You have heard of acupuncture, right? Like exactly where your nerves are, they put that needle so that the pain what you are having in the body, not here, wherever, yeah, that is your nerves, correct. So that wherever the pain is there in the body, it will help to relieve it. The same way, if you hit a certain nerve in your body, you can die. Yes. In the same way, karate, when you talk about, there are certain, you've seen Japanese, Chinese and Japanese movies, when they do karate, they hit certain places so that that person is paralyzed, it cannot move. Paralyzed is when you cannot move. So he said, I hit the elephant exactly there where it cannot move.
Not a day passed without Iswaran recounting some story packed with adventure, horror, and suspense. Whether the story was credible or not, Mahendra enjoyed listening to it because of the inimitable way in which it was told. Iswaran seemed to more than make up for the absence of a TV in Mahendra's living quarters.
Yeah, so what happened is recounting is basically telling. So every day he would tell him some stories which will be either an adventure story or a horror story or a suspense story. And it was like, sometimes it feels like, can you believe it or not? Credible or not? Is it believable or not? Okay, that way. And Mahendra enjoyed listening to the story. When the stories are very interesting, you really enjoy it.
Yes.
And because the way inimitable is means you cannot imitate the way Ishwar used to tell the story. You cannot copy it the way he used to tell the story. And because of Ishwar's story, Mahendra didn't miss the TV. Otherwise, you require TV for entertainment. Remember, the same way Ishwaran used to entertain Mahendra.
One morning when Mahendra was having breakfast, Iswaran asked, Can I make something tasty for dinner tonight, sir? After all, today is an auspicious day. According to tradition, we prepare various delicacies with the spirits of our ancestors to dessert.
Okay, you remember it's Pitramoksha?
Pitramoksha.
You remember Mama saying Pitramoksha?
Huh? Okay.
Pitramoksha is when you that offer food to the crows that day.
Yes. One day after.
Yeah, somebody dies. Yeah, so like that. That is
I
what.
think so. After 1 year also they do, no?
Yeah. No, it is also talked about. It is special festival for the souls, for the departed of the souls. अगर कोई मर जाता है ना, तो फिर उनके लिए पूजा करते हैं, right? So that.
हम अभी कुछ है ना?
It will be there. It will come. Every year it comes. Okay. So that night, like he says that. Yeah. So one morning when Mahendra was having breakfast, Ishwaran asked. So that day, one day he was making breakfast and he asked, Ishwaran asked Mahesh, can I make some delicacies? Normally in Pitra Moksha, when you talk about Pitra Moksha, that day whatever that person liked, the person like maybe your grandfather is living or there. So maybe whatever food your grandfather liked.
Grandfather is there.
But who's passed away? Anybody's passed away in your family? Grandmother?
My Jyoti ma'am is mummy.
Choti Nani is mummy, no? So the day in Pitra Moksha, what happens? The day whatever your Choti Nani's mummy or your grandfather, whatever they like, they make that and they offer to the crow because they feel that the crow is the spirit of your grandfather or your great grandmother.
Like what happened now? My big mother died, no? So we were in village.
Yeah.
The body is taken
Yeah.
in the village, no? So while the fire, before that rice is fed to the cow.
Yeah.
So I saw that.
But I'm talking about this festival, right? This particular festival, Pitra Moksha, basically whatever delicacies they like, they make it and they put it in a plate. They keep little water also in it and then they keep it on the wall or outside the house, wherever there. And this crow comes and eats it normally. They believe that if the crow eats it, that your ancestors, the souls are reading it. Yeah.
But why?
But it is all superstition, you don't ask me why. It's just a superstition is carrying on for ages.
That's not what I'm asking.
Then?
After the body goes, where does the soul go?
Basically, it goes back to God. It is believed that it goes back to God, and then तुम्हारे 7 जन्म जो होते हैं, then you are born again in some other form. Okay.
होता है क्या? बोलते कि जो
Once I die, I'll let you know when I come back to life.
हम बोलते हैं कि 7 जन्म अगर बहुत बुरा काम किया तो 7 जन्म में नहीं सच में नहीं.
Basically, it is as I said, ancestors carry on tales and tales and tales. Whether you believe or not is up to you. Okay. So that day, what is happening? So he says, "Can I make something special for dinner?" So he says, because it's an auspicious day for them, auspicious as a holy day. This Diwali hoti hai, no? That is an auspicious festival, right? It is a festival of light. That's why it is called auspicious, yani holy, sacred. So, Holi, Diwali, all these festivals, Dashera, these are all called auspicious days. यानी उस दिन पे आप कुछ भी काम करोगे वो शुभ होता है. That's why it is called auspicious. ठीक है?
Blessings.
हाँ, blessings आते हैं. So that's why it is known as auspicious. यानी a good day to start anything.
A new thing.
A new thing. Okay? Dashera for special. According to the tradition, we prepare various delicacies to feed the spirit of ancestors today. Pitra Moksha, जैसे Pitra Moksha होता है, तो that's all. So, all his ancestors, whoever has passed away, he will prepare food for them and offer it to them so that the spirits come and eat.
And not only crow, I think so. Man also come now and eat.
No, not man is coming.
Yes. Person, anybody who is in our relatives come and eat.
That is after वो तेरवीं करते हैं and that is different. That is a different one में when somebody passes away after the 3rd day and the 13th day you offer food and they come and eat. But we are talking about, we think that the soul of the person will come in the form of a crow and eat it and go.
अच्छा हाँ.
ठीक है? Soul यानी आत्मा आएंगी and वो खा के जाएंगी कौवे के shape में. Understood? That is what our Indian culture says. Understood? समझा?
और बोलते कि अगर नहीं आएगी क्रोस तो
मतलब वो गुस्सा है आपसे.
गुस्सा है, नाराज है.
नाराज.
ना उनका दिल किधर तो
Correct. Understood? Okay. So you know, so this, and then that night he made. So Mahendra enjoyed the most delicious dinner and complimented Ishwaran on his culinary skill. Culinary cooking. Culinary is cooking. Skills is talent. Okay. He seemed very pleased and unexpectedly launched a more garish account involving the supernatural, and he was very happy because he praised him a lot. So he was very happy, and he, like, he started telling a story which was full, very showy story. He made up a lot of characters and like that. So it was very vibrant story about the supernatural. So he's telling about the ghostly stuff. You know, so this entire factory area.
Yeah.
We shall continue this later class. Okay? Sure.
Supernatural.
And take care.
Yes.
You have a lot of coffee.
Yes.
Did you forget anything?
No.
No.
And screen color.